Yo, what's good, fam? Welcome to PNP. It's your boy Rashad, one half of PNP, and today I'm here to give you the top 5 offensive coordinator replacements going into the 2022-2023 NFL season. Now, I'm going under a couple assumptions here. I'm going under the assumption that Matt Rule does come back for a 3rd year. Now, that's just not me, making this up. That's not just me. This is me going with the gut feeling based off the tea leaves. Now, if it was up to me, I would say, hey, Matt, this ain't for you. You gotta go back to college or do something else because the NFL isn't working out for you. That's me. But I think that Tepper and what we've heard from Matt Rule say that, hey, this guy's got all the confidence in me, talking about Matt Rule in regards to David Tepper. David Tepper seems to want to keep this guy around, and that's evident by him not firing him by now, because the rules have changed to where you can now interview coaches from other teams, assistant coaches from other teams, and coordinators from other teams. That window is open now. So, i.e. Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars have gotten a jump on interviewing their candidates because the rules have changed. So if you're going to get rid of a coach, now is the time to do it so you can go out there and start interviewing guys. And I'm not saying that guys aren't going to get fired come Black Monday, because there will be some guys that will get fired. And Matt Rule could still get fired. But based off the tea leaves and based off what I'm seeing so far, I think that Matt Rule is going to get another year, just because the whole year 3 thing, and Rome wasn't built in a day. If Tepper's going to go by his words, and he hadn't done that very often, but if he does go by his words, then Matt Rule could get another year, and year 3 will be upon us. Now, just keep in mind, this is, and if things go as they look like they're going to go, and the Panthers lose the next 2 games, we will be a 5-win team for the 3rd consecutive year, right? So even before Matt Rule got here, we were a 5-win team, and now we are going on back-to-back 5-win teams under Matt Rule. So we're treading water here. We're not getting better in the win-loss column. We're not getting better in the trajectory of the team is not going the right direction. Offensively, defensively, we're going downhill fast. But at the end of the day, we've got to fix something. We scapegoated Joe Brady, got him out of here, and now we're looking for a replacement going into the 2023 season and 2022-2023 season. And I'm here to give you the top 5 guys. Now, before we get into it, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, get these comments. Let me know what's good. Trying to get to 15,000 subscribers. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button for your boy, and let's get into it. All right, so let's get into our first candidate. It's going to be Scott Montgomery. Right now, he is the running backs coach for the Colts. Young cat, 43 years old, and is actually from North Carolina, right outside of Shelby, North Carolina, which is not too far from Charlotte. So this guy played collegiately at Duke. So he's, he knows the area. He's from the Carolinas. So that gives him a little bit of a connection here. But looking at his resume is really interesting. He's got 3-year career in the NFL as a former wide receiver, and a 2 years experience at wide receivers coach and 1 year experience at running backs coach. And that's happening right now with the Colts. And what he has done with the Colts running backs is great. He's got Nyheim Hines playing well. You got Jonathan Taylor. Both of those guys leading the number 2 rushing attack in the NFL right now behind a great offensive line. And I think that speaks to what Matt Rule wants to do. He knows what a good offensive line looks like. And he knows what good running back talent looks like. And he knows how to use a tweener like Christian McCaffrey, because Nyheim Hines is the same thing. So I really feel like this guy offers a lot and could bring a lot. The only concern is that this guy's resume is short. He doesn't have a ton of NFL experience, but he's trending in the right direction. I think in a couple more years, if the Colts continue to do what they do, this guy will be in line for a job somewhere. All right, we got Ken Dorsey up next. This is a familiar face to all Carolina Panther fans. Former quarterbacks coach of the Carolina Panthers and current quarterback coach of the Buffalo Bills. He's got 8 years total of quarterback coaching. Obviously, coached Cam Newton here and currently coaching Josh Allen with the Buffalo Bills. So he's got some good coaching experience to his name. He has a pro scout background. And again, this is another team. The only con I have with Ken Dorsey is he has worked with some great talent. Can he get the best out of guys, or is he just kind of molding already good talent, right? I don't know if the scheme quite fits with what Matt Rule wants to do. Buffalo Bills, they sling the ball a lot. They throw the ball a lot. Good offense, but they do have Josh Allen as well. So I'm not quite sure if the scheme fit is there. But if we're looking to get a young guy in there to cut his teeth and get some offensive coordinating experience, I think this guy could be an interesting name to watch moving forward. All right, next up we've got John Embree, 56-year-old assistant head coach / tight end coach for the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, this guy has some amazing experience, man. I really didn't know until I started doing the research who this guy's worked with. But if you look at his resume, it's pretty extensive. He's got a 4-year NFL career as a former tight end, and then 13 years of experience as a tight end coach, which is crazy. And even before that, he's got 13 years of collegiate experience, which includes head coaching as well. But the guy has great names to his resume. Tony Gonzalez, Hall of Famer. Cameron Jordan, remember Cameron Jordan, who was a Pro Bowler for Cleveland. Cameron Brate with Tampa Bay. Austin Seferian-Jenkins there as well. And then George Kittle, the great George Kittle. This guy has worked with some great tight end talent and helped mold them to be really good players. So this guy, I mean, listen, he's coming from that Kyle Shanahan tree, which obviously we know they want to run the football. They are a run-first team, knows how to work with mediocre quarterbacks. And I feel like when you look at that Shanahan system, that mirrors exactly what Matt Rule wants to do. You want to be able to run the football, win in the trenches. He knows what good offensive line play looks like. He knows how to leverage tight ends and mold tight ends to be really good players. I mean, this guy has got some elite level players to his name as a coach, and it's just great to see, man. I think this is a really good name to watch. Underrated name to watch. Again, assistant head coach too. Keep that in mind. This is a guy that could be elevated to head coach if Matt Rule doesn't work out with the experience that he has. So keep an eye on that. This guy's a really good resume with the tight ends he's worked with. All right, next up we got Bill Callahan. All right, this guy's a bit older, 65 years old. He's currently the offensive line coach for Cleveland. He's got 2 years of head coaching experience, 4 years of experience as offensive coordinator, 16 years of experience as an offensive line coach. And let me tell you something, wherever this man goes, a top 10 offensive line follows, okay? Look at what he did with the Cowboys, Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Travis Frederick, watch the football team, Trent Williams, Brandon Scherf, Morgan Moses with the Browns, Jedrick Wills, Jack Conklin. Why all these guys are Pro Bowl level players, and they all are a part of top 10 offensive lines. Wherever he goes, a top 10 offensive line follows, man. This is elite level experience. Now, as far as the cons go with this guy, he's a bit older, right? 65 years old. Does he even want to become an offensive coordinator again? That's something that we need to find out, because I have no idea. He's interviewed for some offensive coordinator positions, and I think some people try to pry him away from some offensive coordinator positions. He's declined. So keep that in mind. I'm not sure if he's going to be looking to move or willing to accept an offensive coordinator position at this rate. But this guy does have some head coach experience, and just something to keep an eye on. In fact, he was the interim head coach before Ron Rivera was hired with the Washington football team. Also, he just had some head coach work down in the collegiate level. So this guy, I mean, again, vast experience. I just think that if you really want to win in the trenches, this is the guy to call up. All right, next up, we got Jim Caldwell, and somebody needs to explain to me why this man is unemployed right now. He's 66 years old. He is currently unemployed. Well, at the end of the 2019-2020 season, he's been unemployed since. And I don't understand why. I feel like he's gotten the shaft wherever he's went. Wherever he's had a head coaching job, he's pretty much gotten the shaft. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion, one with the Colts as a quarterbacks coach and one with the Ravens as an offensive coordinator. He's got 7 years of experience at head coach, 2 years experience at offensive coordinator, and 8 years of experience at quarterbacks coach. I don't understand, going back to his time with the Colts, and we talk about, I talked about this earlier, about how people are, so a lot of people are saying they need time for these teams or these coaches to get their guys in, and they need time to build blah, 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 blah. Well, Jim Caldwell was 14-2 his first season with the Colts. Also, his first season with the Lions, he was 11-5. So don't tell me you need time. No, you just need to be a good coach. And that's what Jim Caldwell is. He's a good coach. And I feel like he's gotten the shaft because the Colts went 2-14 in the 2011 season because Peyton Manning missed the entire season due to having neck surgeries and whatnot. That being said, they ended up firing Jim Caldwell because of that, and then they ended up drafting Andrew Luck, and Jim Caldwell never had the opportunity to work with Andrew Luck. So that's a shame, number one. And then he goes on to the Detroit Lions. There hasn't been a winning coach like Jim Caldwell at Detroit since he left. I'll wait. Name me another coach that has had success that Jim Caldwell has at Detroit. There hasn't been. Again, like I said earlier, in his first season with the Detroit Lions, he had an 11-5 record and went to the playoffs with the Lions. Then in 2015, they started out 1-7, and it didn't go high. They weren't starting too hot, and then they proceeded to end the season 7-9, and he retained his job. Coming back in 2016 with the Lions, he went 9-7, and then he went 9-7 again the next season, and they ended up firing him. They fired a winning coach. Okay, his record with the Lions was 36-28. He had a 56% win percentage. Okay, 56% win percentage. It's crazy. I don't understand how the Lions got rid of him. It just didn't make sense. He did end up returning to the NFL and work for he interviewed for the Packers, didn't get that job. He also interviewed for a couple other positions with the Jets, the Browns. After Brian Flores was hired by the Miami Dolphins, he did work as a assistant head coach / quarterbacks coach under Brian Flores, but then was not retained after the 2019 season. Now, one thing we do have to watch out for, and this may be a reason why he hasn't taken another position, is because that he has had some health issues to deal with. I don't know what those health issues are. I don't know if they're serious or not. But if I'm the Carolina Panthers, I'm getting on the phone with Jim Caldwell right now to run my offense and potentially be my head coach if Matt Rule doesn't work out. That's my opinion. I think Jim Caldwell should have a position somewhere, should be a head coach somewhere, and it's unfortunate that this man has gotten the shaft wherever he's been. Now, giving you the top 5 guys, in my opinion. If I missed a guy, you guys let me know. I'm just doing the research, and I know there's some other hot names out there, but these are guys that I feel that could mesh with Matt Rule in his mindset and what he wants to do offensively. Wants to run the football. I'm not going to go out and get another pass game coordinator for another team. I'm going to get guys that want to run the football and know how to effectively run the football, or have been with a team that knows how to effectively run a football. That's why I chose the guys that I've chose, right? So that being said, in order for Matt Rule to turn this thing around, in my opinion, it is imperative that he goes out and gets some guys with some experience, right? We need guys that have experience in the NFL, guys that know how to adjust at the NFL level, guys that know how to get it done at the NFL level. The college coaches that he has on his roster, on his coaching staff right now, are just not it. And when those guys aren't it, in order for Matt Rule to save face, he needs to turn those guys out. He needs to get rid of those guys. And again, I'm not for anybody losing a job. I'm not that type of guy that's just gonna say, hey, willy-nilly fire everybody. Although I do understand that these people have, mouths to feed. So I'm not thinking of it in that aspect. I'm not just, I have a heart, right? So, but what I'm saying is, in order for this Carolina Panthers team to be successful, we have to get guys in here that have experience and know what they're doing. Matt Rule has to surround himself with experience and just guys that know how to adjust at the NFL level. It is imperative that he does so, and the guys that I've listed have that experience and can help him out and help him when it comes to some of those decisions where he's struggling. After halftime, we're not scoring. Third quarter, we're not scoring. We're getting blown out. Like, how do we fix that? I think these guys that I listed can help with that situation. Now, that being said, man, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, leave comments. Let me know what's good. We're trying to get to 15,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button for your boy. I'm out.